Hey there, welcome back to Eat with Sarah. I'm Sarah, and today we're going to be doing a review of vegan fast food in Belgrade. And the food that we're going to be reviewing is from BioVita Vegan Kiosk in downtown Belgrade. Vegan fast food, vegan takeaway, and vegan food to go are not very common options in the Western world, let alone in Belgrade, Serbia. But luckily, you do have an option for doing that in Belgrade, and that is from the Vegan Kiosk. Vegan fast food, vegan takeaway, and vegan to-go options are not necessarily plentiful in Serbia because Serbians really like to eat their meat. But I'm going to be reviewing some of the vegan options that are at BioVegan Kiosk. I'm going to be reviewing some samples that BioVegan Kiosk generously gave me to try, so you have an idea of what they offer and to know if they're any good. We don't always want to eat out all the time while we're traveling, or if we just don't have time to cook. With eating out, you have the issue of you have to wait to get your order taken, you have to wait for your food to cook. It's just a lot of waiting. Whereas if you go get food at BioVegan Kiosk, you can go get it, and in some instances, you can eat it right on the spot. They have a combination of ready-to-eat items and then items that simply need to be warmed up a little bit before you can eat them. They have a host of international options, so not only do you have like comfort food like lasagna, but you also have some Asian inspired dishes, you have some sandwiches, so there's really a good variety of dishes that you can get at BioVegan Kiosk. A vegan kiosk is especially relevant to travelers because oftentimes you're going to be staying in downtown Belgrade or Stari Grad, so you want a fast option after you just got off the plane, or you are after a day of exploring and you just want to eat something that tastes good, but you don't want to have a whole drawn out restaurant experience. And I think this is truly where the vegan kiosk in downtown Belgrade really shines. The vegan kiosk is very conveniently located on Knez Mihailova in Millenium Mall. And if you remember, Knez Mihailova is the main street that I talked about in my ice cream video when I reviewed 7 Heaven vegan ice cream. So if you're wondering about other options in the area, head over to the other video to watch the 7 Heaven review. The first item from Vegan Kiosk that I'm going to be reviewing is their protein salad. The protein salad is gluten-free, it is not soy-free, but it is free of most allergens. This is one of my favorite items that I tried from the Vegan Kiosk, and I really love the flavors. I love the smokiness of the tofu paired with the creaminess of the homemade mayo. I liked everything in conjunction, the texture of the red beans and the chickpeas. The corn gave a little bit of extra sweetness. Overall, everything really went well together. It seemed hearty as a salad compared to other salads you might get at another restaurant or places that offer to-go options. Not only did I like it, but my husband, who is less of a foodie, is a little bit more picky, also really liked it. I like the combination of flavors and textures, and I don't really have any criticism for things that I would change with the salad. The second item I'm going to be talking about is called Eva's Tofu Meal. It's basically an Asian-inspired meal. It's a combination of seasoned tofu and then basmati rice with broccoli. I thought this one was just okay. It wasn't as great as the protein salad that I combined it with. It was decent. I would be satisfied with it if I got it. I do think that there could be a more prominent flavor with the tofu. I think either like the soy sauce could be bumped up, the ginger could be increased, the vinegar, the garlic, the chili, anything in the sauce could really be bumped up to amp up the flavor. One thing to note is that it is cold and it is in a container that is not microwave safe, and then the employee told me to eat it cold. I did start out eating it cold, but I wanted to test out eating it warm to see if the flavors would come through. I like the texture of the tofu after it had been warmed up, and then overall the flavors just seemed tastier after it had been warmed up. So my recommendation would be, if you did want a tofu-based meal, an Asian-inspired meal, if you're gonna go with Eva's tofu meal, I would recommend warming it up, contrary to the recommendation of eating it cold or at room temperature. The next main meal option that we have is the gourmet sandwich, and the gourmet sandwich was a combination of whole grain bread with some spiced seitan and then mayo, the homemade vegan mayo again, and cucumber and tomato. I really enjoyed this sandwich. The flavor of the seitan was really great. It really stood out, and it was the star of the dish. It was a little bit on the spicier side. It wasn't incredibly spicy, but I think on a whole spice range, I would give it like a 3 or a 4. So if you don't like spice, this might not be the thing for you. If you're not spice tolerant, I don't know if I would recommend this to you, because I could definitely tell that there was spice in the seitan. But I like the combination of the cooling mayo, the little bit spicy seitan, and then you have the flavor of the tomato and the cucumber. I really liked the crunch that the cucumber offered. The bread was a little bit on the dry side, but then combined with the mayo that was really moist, I think it was a good combination of textures and flavors. And so overall the sandwich didn't seem dry because there was moisture coming from the tomato, there was moisture coming from the seitan, the mayo, and the cucumber. And so overall it was a nice sandwich, and I would definitely eat it again. The one thing I didn't like about this sandwich is that it was wrapped in plastic, and since I am trying to be more sustainable with veganism, I don't like how it's not a container that can at least be reused again. So I would love to have another option in terms of packaging for the gourmet sandwich. The last main meal I'm going to talk about is the lasagna, and the lasagna was very tasty. It was really good. I don't make much lasagna because it's a very intricate process. I like the flavors, I like the textures. Overall, it was just a good lasagna, and I don't get to eat a lot of lasagna because typically lasagna has meat and cheese. The red sauce was really nice. I do think that they had the same spiced seitan in the lasagna as they did in the gourmet sandwich, so there was a little bit of spice in the lasagna as well. I don't think that would be traditional necessarily, but I really liked it. It gave an area of interest and it made it unique, and I'm all for putting your own twist on things. I am one of those people who likes a little bit of crispiness on top of their lasagna, like a little bit of crispiness and crunchiness on the lasagna noodles. I would like to see a little bit more texture maybe on the top. We're talking about lasagna, we've talked about the Asian inspired meal, we've talked about a sort of California style salad. I'd love for you to share what your favorite international food is in the comments below. Last but not least is the desserts. So the first dessert we're going to talk about is the carob cake. I think that the carob cake was a very subtle flavor with the carob. There was a little bit of cocoa in there too. I didn't see any refined sugar in the ingredients for the cake, but do be aware it's lightly sweetened, and to get that light sweetness they use applesauce and a little bit of fructose. I liked that the cake came with frosting. I didn't expect that when I got it at the kiosk. I thought it would just be a cake with no frosting, so it's nice that I had the frosting on top. My husband, who generally doesn't like chocolate but does enjoy carob, did like this carob cake. I was a little bit worried that he wouldn't like it, that the chocolate flavor would come through too much. When I was cutting it, before I warmed it up, I noticed that it was a little bit crumbly, but after I warmed it up for a little bit, it was a good texture. I think if you were to eat it cold, it might be a little bit too crumbly, so for the carob cake, that's another one that I would recommend warming it up. Another thing to note about the carob cake is that this comes in plastic packaging it can. It comes in plastic wrap. I'd love for it to be a little bit more eco-friendly packaging, something we can reuse or recycle. The second dessert that I tried was an unsweetened sort of dessert, and that was the yogurt. Yogurt had a nice tang to it. I thought the cashew flavor would come out a little bit more, but the overall flavor was very neutral. It has a very light taste, maybe a slight coconut aftertaste. The overall flavor that does come from it is a slight tang. The texture was also really nice. It does seem like it has some live cultures in it because it says it has lactobacillus. My overall impression of Vegan Kiosk is that there were some items that I would definitely recommend. So I would definitely recommend the lasagna and the protein salad. There were other items that were meh. They just didn't have a really strong flavor. Not everything at a restaurant is going to be amazing. I hope that you do give Vegan Kiosk a try. I'm looking forward to tasting their other options. Thanks for watching my review of the Vegan Kiosk in downtown Belgrade. I hope that this review of fast food and vegan ready-to-go food helps you, whether you're vegan, vegetarian, or just looking for healthier options while you're in Belgrade, Serbia. Please like this video if you enjoyed the content. It helps me share this content with more people. I would love for you to subscribe to my channel. Please do so if you want to be notified of when I post videos. I post videos twice a week. And don't forget to comment what your favorite international food is below. My favorite international food is Mexican. I'd love for you to hear yours, whether it's Moroccan or Italian or American or French. Just leave it in the comments below. See you next time. Bye.